closed here. I am so excited to be on this webinar with you guys today. My name is Jessica Dugas for anybody that is new to me, and we are going to get rolling here. So I would love for you all, I see you all have found the chat box, so that's awesome. I would love for everybody to take a minute, introduce yourself in the chat box, let me know where you're logging in from so that I can give you each a shout out. So welcome everyone to the scheduling for the Multi-Passionate Spiritual Mama webinar. This started out as I was just going to show some friends, just going to show the moms in the Moms Online Mastermind kind of how I do my schedule and not lose my mind completely with having 6 kids and running my business and everything else. And so, but so many people were interested in what I'm doing that I said, what the heck, I'll just make it into an actual professional looking webinar and spread the love, if you will, of what I do so that you guys can do what you must do. Don't give up what you love to do and keep your shit together as well. So I am so glad that you're here. Let me pull up the chat so that I can give you guys some love right now. Kara is joining us. Thank you so much for coming, Kara. Kara's tuning in from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Hillary from Greenville, South Carolina. Shannon, Nova Scotia, Canada. Amanda from Indiana. Lisa Bryce, my local neighbor, coming from Opelika, Alabama. I'm in Auburn, so that's just a scoot down the road here. And so thank you guys so much for joining me today. Like I said, I am super excited to have you here, and we're going to learn a lot today, guys. So I have so much jam-packed in this for you. I'm going to try to be as mindful of your time as I can, because I know if you're having trouble with scheduling and you're on this webinar, you probably feel like right now you're not sure you have the time to spare for this, but I promise you this is going to be worth your while. And we're going to have some fun today too. So make sure you continue to use that chat box because it's going to be more fun if we have this as an interactive experience. Interact with each other, ask me questions. I will check in with the chat periodically. So let me make sure I have everything ready to go here. All right, so I'm glad you guys have been interacting a little bit, and I am going to move in now to the good stuff here. So really quickly, I want to share with you a little bit about myself and why I am passionate about this webinar. So my name is Jessica Dugas, and I am a homeschooling mom of 6 children. My children range in age from 9 months old all the way up to my oldest, who is about to turn 16, and I feel like I'm gonna lose my mind just saying that. It's a crazy time around here. And so in addition to that, I'm a wife to my husband, Philip, who is, he does sales from Toyota, so he works really crazy hours. And as far as my business goes, I am a mentor of moms through my company, Just Determined, and the Moms Online Mastermind group. Give a shout out here if you are a member of the Moms Online Mastermind, and let everybody know what you think about that group. I would love for you to share with anybody who's not a part of that group kind of what you're getting out of it. But I help moms to reduce the stress and overwhelm in their lives and help them find that sense of balance that they hear everybody talking about. They're not really sure what it is or where they can get it. How many of you can relate to needing some more balance in your life or reducing stress in your life? I think there are moments that we all need that. So aside from all that, I am an intuitive empath. I enjoy doing oracle readings, and I have a lot of things going on all the time. I'm very Aquarius and very extremely multi-passionate. So many things that I love and I get excited about. But unfortunately, with all that, I was not a born organized person. I have struggled throughout the years to really find something that works for me. And unfortunately, I'll dive in and I'll follow somebody. I started following somebody else's schedule. Exactly. And for any of you that have ever done that, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And so I'm going to get into that a little bit as well coming up, but I'm going to share with you today kind of just my system so that you can make it work for you. I don't want you to copy me exactly. I want you to just mold what I do so that you can make it work for where you're at in your life. So I'm just going to check the chat. Hi, Cindy. And Kara saying, I love that family photo. Thank you so much. I love that photo too. There's very few instances where I can get all 6 kids to look the same direction. So of course the baby's not there, but she was just little bitty. And Hillary saying she loves mom, love the group, and feels so connected with all the ladies. Shannon's a member of the group, and she loves the different videos that we provide there. And so I thank you guys for chiming in and giving that recommendation as well. So when we go through this webinar, we're going to jump into the content now. If you want to take notes, you can, but what I would like to have you do, and this is something that I recommend to everybody, is to just pay attention. Close your Facebook, close your text messages, and really focus in on this information that I'm going to give you today. And you don't even have to take notes. And the reason why is because everybody on this call today is going to get a free printable. This printable is going to be the outline of the whole webinar, and it will have space on there for you to make notes as you go. So you can focus in today. Feel free to do that. And then you can always go back and print out your free printable you're going to get and watch it again, and then pick apart and just make notes on the things that are most important to you. So with that being said, is everybody ready? Give me a yes in the chat if you are ready to dive into this information today. All right. We have Hillary, yes. Donna, yes. Amanda, yes. Lisa, yes. Kara, yes. And I'm ready and excited for this. I am too. So here we go. Now, before we jump into the meat and potatoes of the actual scheduling, I want to give you some inspiration first. Before we get to the information, I want to give you some inspiration. If you jump in and just go into scheduling without being in the right mindset, without knowing what you need to do, you are going to come up against some roadblocks, okay? Because scheduling, like everything else in this life, begins with mindset. You have got to be in the right mindset before you start scheduling. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting with that schedule, and it's not going to be working well for you. So, first thing you need to do is release any limiting beliefs that you have around scheduling, okay? And this was something that I didn't realize when I first started trying to find a schedule that worked for me. I was just like, I would go in. Who can relate? Let me know if you can relate to this. You go into the store and you find this cute little planner, right? And you get home and you're like, yes, I'm gonna get organized. I'm gonna get planning. This is gonna be amazing. And you're writing in your appointments. You've got your pretty little gel pens. You've got everything going on. And then not long into following that schedule, you're still overwhelmed. You're still a mess and everything else. Who else can relate to doing that? I think a lot of us has gone. Is Shannon saying yes? Donna, me. I say that every New Year's Day. Me too, Donna. I will get that schedule and be like, praise the Lord, I'm gonna get organized, and then that's it. It doesn't last very long. Why? Because I was still in the old mindset. I didn't believe I could follow a schedule. I literally would tell people, like, oh my gosh, I'm so unorganized. And when you say that, for those of you that know me, what do I always say? You breathe life into the words that you say. So I was setting myself up for failure there. So you need to believe that you can follow a schedule. The next thing is that there are no scheduling police, okay? Sometimes we're making out our schedule and we're thinking, you know, so-and-so doesn't do it like this, or if I put this in, we have this secret fear of being judged by people. If we write something down, that means that I really don't want it. If I have to remember it, it's going to be, it doesn't mean I'm passionate about that. Let all of that go and know that there are no rules and there are no scheduling police. No one's going to come after you for what you put in your schedule, I promise. Schedule does not mean that you're limited. This was a huge thing for me because I really felt like if I fill up my schedule, then what if something happens? What if something comes up and I can't follow it? This would literally create a panic for me, a panic. And so I would get into the schedule and I would think, oh no, this is too limiting, and I wouldn't do it. The next part, like I mentioned in the beginning, is that following someone else's schedule does not work, okay? You can't look at your friend's schedule and say, oh, I'm going to do my schedule just like this, because everybody's lives are completely different. It is impossible for you to follow someone else's schedule because it does not work. You are not them. You're an individual. Now, I have kind of a suggestion for you, is that to get in this mindset, do some work on your root chakra. Your root chakra is your foundation, and if you're not sure what a chakra is, or you're like, okay, Jess, you're losing me, don't panic about that either. I can always talk to you about after the webinar about what that is. But using positive affirmations for yourself, using the statement, I am, is a great way to get grounded and get in the right mindset to create a schedule that works for you. So even just repeating, I am creating a schedule that works for me, is a great affirmation for you to use throughout the day to get in the right mindset for that. And you're working on that root chakra, and you don't even have to know what a chakra is, just by using that statement and creating that foundation for yourself. Donna saying, I need to release that fear of being organized. I watched my mom freak out when her schedule went away, so I thought, I don't want to be that stressed out if things don't work out. I completely hear you. And that, I was just like your mom. Like, I would completely spaz out if my schedule had to be changed. I couldn't grasp flexibility, or that I could be scheduled and flexible at the same time. Kara saying, I love that one. Often we feel being overly scheduled means it takes away our freedom. We do think that. But the thing of it is, and what you're going to learn today, is that you can be scheduled, like I said, and be flexible at the same time, and that it's okay. Like I said, there's no scheduling police. So there's no one looking over your schedule if you have to change things around. All right. I would have panic attacks, Donna says, when trying to create a schedule. Well, I'm hoping that we are going to help eliminate some of that for you today. So, moving on, let me know, you guys, too, if you have any questions as we're going on. Along the same inspiration line, you need to believe that you are worth creating a schedule for. If you are having issues with self-love, or you don't believe that you're worth doing things for yourself and having a schedule, you're not going to create the schedule, and you're not going to put that in there. So going back to the affirmations, saying some self-love affirmations as well is going to be helpful for you. Just repeating things like, I completely love and accept myself. I deserve to have a schedule that works for me. Next is be open to change. Even though I really pride myself on how this schedule is, it's going to be an adjustment, okay? If you go in to doing this schedule and you say, oh my gosh, I have to learn something new. you're not going into it with a very good mindset. You need to, again, make those affirmations work for you and say, I am open to changing my schedule. I am open to creating a schedule that's going to work for me. And also know that in this process, you are creating space for your dream life. Even if things aren't how you want them to be right now, creating a schedule that works for you is creating space in your life for anything you want. Anything at all. I promise that this is going to be a life changer for you, because I'll show you later. I have things in my schedule that haven't even happened yet, but they're there because I want to create the space for them. So let me check the chat really quick. Kara saying, I love those affirmations. Thank you, Kara. All right. Donna's excited. I'm glad you guys are still excited here, hanging with me. How many of you can relate to being a multi-passionate person? Give me a big yes in the chat if you think you are a multi-passionate person. If you don't know what that means, let me know too, so that I can tell you what that's like. Hillary, yes, me. Awesome. Donna, me. Awesome. We've got some other, I am severely multi-passionate. As you can tell, I'm really excited today over this, and I get this excited about a lot of things. My ladies that are on the webinar today, Linda saying yes, Amanda saying yes, Jennifer, yes. Most of the ladies on the call today know that I am constantly chasing squirrels. I'm always chasing squirrels. You guys know I had to bring up squirrels today, okay? I am so excited about so many different things all the time, and so my mind is constantly going in 800 directions, and it really takes a lot of effort on my part and grounding to get centered and focused. So if you are multi-passionate, I've got some inspiration for you today that's going to tie into everything we're doing today. So the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Stephen Covey said that, and that is an awesome quote, okay? You don't have to, nobody says you have to go in and say, XYZ is more important than ABC, so that has to come first. You can have a whole list of things that are important to you, and they can all still be important. Nothing has to come before the other if you don't want it to. So scheduling in that list is so much easier when you're multi-passionate than trying to say, okay, this has to be done at this time every day, and this has to be done next. I don't know if that works for any of you, but it doesn't work for me, and that's why I'm sharing this today. The next quote on here, I have no idea who this quote is from. I tried to find it. If you know, let me know in the chat box, but I love this quote. If you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible, but if you schedule it, it's real. So this is especially important for those of you who are entrepreneurs. If it's not in your schedule, it really doesn't matter, okay? And I don't mean that in a harsh way, even though it's going to come out like that. You've got to schedule it in. Like I told you, I've got things in my schedule that are coming up for my Diamond membership that's about to launch. My Diamond membership hasn't launched yet, but all that stuff is in my schedule. Why? Because I want it to happen. I want it to be real. So let me just check the chat. Yes, squirrels, great quote. Love that quote. Tony Robbins uses that quote a lot. Okay, cool, Cindy. Yeah, I tried to find the original author of the quote, but couldn't, so it's there. Just know that you can probably do more work Googling it than I did if you want to find out who said that. The last part of this, and this is going to be the harshest statement that I make today, and this is coming from my heart, going to yours, and it's from me. Multitasking is a lie, okay? I promise that's going to be the meanest thing I say all day. You can absolutely multitask, and sometimes as a mom, it is necessary. But when you are talking about things that are super important to you, it is absolutely a lie, and it is impossible to be two places 100% at once. That's what I mean by a lie, okay? Know that if you're doing two things at once, you are not giving 100% to either one of those things. It is physically impossible to do that. Oh, Hillary's saying the quote is from Tony Robbins from the book Get the Edge. Cool. All right. Awesome. I'm going to add that Tony Robbins to my slide. And Donna's saying, I agree. It's hard to retain information when multitasking for me. That is true. It's hard to remember what you're doing at the same time too. And Jennifer's saying that she agrees with my lie as well. I'm glad that I'm not alone in this. It's sometimes a hard thing to realize for us moms because we are so it's usual for us to want to multitask. We're juggling kids, we're cooking dinner, we're meeting with a client, whatever it is that we're doing, we're trying to do too much at once. And so that's why scheduling is so important. All right, everybody hanging with me here? Kara's saying, I agree. It actually takes us more time to complete stuff when we multitask. I'm learning this. Yes. Kara's actually the one that told me to calm down with how many computer tabs I have open at one time. Like I said, I'm multi-passionate, so I get so much. I get an idea and I'm like, oh, open this tab, and oh, open this tab. And then next thing you know, I've got 20 tabs, literally. I'm not kidding about the 20 open on my computer, and I'm bouncing from one thing to another, and I'm literally getting nothing accomplished because I'm bouncing back and forth all day. Kara's laughing. Amanda says, I'm guilty. Donna, I do that too. Lisa's saying, I normally have 42 tabs open on average. Yes. And Jennifer's saying, this is why I have a brain dump book. Yeah, I don't keep a lot of books anymore. You'll find a little bit more about that when I get into this a little bit. Cindy's saying me too as well. All right, so I'm gonna move on now so that we can keep time here. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna get set up now. First step before you can even start your calendar, like I said, you need to get in that right mindset. You've got to figure out what your needs are, okay? I use that example of going into the store and getting a new planner and being excited. But if you go into creating the schedule for yourself and you don't know what you need on a daily basis, you don't know what you need your calendar to do for you, your calendar is not going to work, period. End of story. It's not going to work. So you need to figure out what's working in your life, what's not working in your life, how much time you need to do things, okay? Here's some helpful exercises that can help you get prepared to start your calendar. First thing is that you can track your day. All right. Now, with all of these exercises that I'm going to give you, if you caught my live video on the Just Determined Facebook page this morning, I talked a little bit about this. When you're going into these exercises, it's important for you to come at it from a place of non-judgment. Whatever you're writing down for yourself, again, going back to that, there's no schedule police, okay? Track your day and don't judge anything that you're doing, all right? You want to play Candy Crush for an hour? Candy Crush it for an hour and be proud of it. Write it down. Nobody cares, okay? I don't care if you're Candy Crushing for an hour. You shouldn't either. If that's what you want to do and you want to do that with your time, you go, girl, okay? Don't judge yourself for individual activities. So for one day, I want you to write down individual activities that you do. This can be, okay, I get up in the morning. That's one. I brush my teeth, take a shower, use the bathroom. That's your kind of self-care activities you're doing in the morning. I eat breakfast. I eat lunch. I meet with a client. Literally write down, I play Candy Crush for an hour. Whatever you do, literally write that down for a whole day, okay? And now if your days vary a lot, that might not work out very well for you. So, Kara's saying, great tip. I love how you add doing this without judgment. It's so important because really your priorities are not somebody else's. I cannot stand going on Facebook and having someone talking in the news feed about how they can't stand how other people are playing Candy Crush or Farmville or whatever the heck it is. Who cares? It's their life. Leave them alone. So if your days vary from day to day a lot, a different activity for you to do might be to track your week instead. Now, what you're going to do when you track your week is that you're not going to write down individual things. You're going to find categories or themes that run throughout your week. So, self-care is a theme. Anything you're doing for that. General taking care of yourself is a theme. Getting up, getting dressed, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, all those kind of things. Eating is a theme. All of your meal times is a theme. If you homeschool, homeschooling is a theme. If you have a business, your business is a theme. Write down all of the categories of things you do throughout the week. And don't forget, like I said, to put in those self-care things. Self-care, date night with your husband, one-on-one time with your kids, whatever those things are. And go down and write down categories. Just kind of observe what you're doing over a week time and write down those categories. Now, when you're done tracking those things, you want to go back through and kind of write down how much time approximately you're spending on these things. The reason you want to do this, number one, it's going to be eye-opening for you. You may be playing Candy Crush for 2 hours a day, and it may be eye-opening for you. Maybe you didn't realize that we can get sucked into that stuff. I know we can. Candy Crush was one of the reasons I was glad I gave up my cell phone a couple years ago, because I would literally get sucked in and be drowning in that. Sometimes you don't realize. So this can be eye-opening for you. Again, don't come from it with a place of judgment. You don't know, and these things can just kind of happen. Just allow it to open your mind a little bit. So, and then the other thing is that writing down these times, the times that you need to do these things, are going to be important when we get into the actual scheduling, because you're going to know how much time you need to block out when you need to schedule these things. Now, you can repeat these processes for other household members. I'm going to tell you, when I share my calendar with you coming up, I don't want you to get overwhelmed looking at it. I'm not sure anybody else on the call also has a husband and 6 children, so I don't want you to get overwhelmed looking at my calendar, because there is a lot on it. I literally have everything on there, from my personal things to my business, all 6 children, my husband's things, everything's on there. So if you have other people that you need to schedule for, just repeat these processes for other household members so that you know where you're at with them. The other thing you need to do when you're viewing this list is determine what things on that list are negotiable and what things are non-negotiable. What things would you be willing to give up to have what you want? If you don't want to give any of that up, you want to still play, I keep using Candy Crush, I just think it's hilarious. You still want to play Candy Crush for 2 hours? Go for it. I don't care, it's not my schedule. So whatever you figure out is negotiable or non-negotiable, just put a little single N next to things or a double N next to things for non-negotiable, and that's going to help you as well when it comes to figuring out your task list and what you need to schedule. So I did a lot of talking just there, so let me check the chat box really quick. Cindy saying, I love the category idea. Linda saying, that's the computer for me. Too much info. I need to read and listen to for biz, but ends up too much time each day. Absolutely. And I'm going to show you my task list coming up as well. That's going to help you just, you know, if you've got extra time, you can always add extra time, you know. So just making sure that, you know, you're spending the amount of time you want to on it. Again, you don't have to come at it from, oh crap, I've been spending, you know, 3 hours on this every day. Bad Jessica. No, you don't have to do that. Just be like, okay, now I know, let's move on and let's fix this. All right, everybody good? All right, moving on. Getting set up. Now, I asked a question in the event page. How many of you have a Google account, and how many of you use the Google Calendar? If you, I want you to answer that again for me really quick, but I only want you to answer in the chat box. If you have a Google Calendar and use it, I want you to tell me yes in the chat box right now. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I use Google Calendar and why I think it's honestly essential for every mom to use. Now, I'm not an affiliate of Google. I get no kickback from using Google, but that's how passionate I am that this is the tool for moms. Let me check the chat box really quick. Hillary uses it, Jennifer uses it, Cindy uses it. Awesome. Okay, my personal reasons for getting on the Google train. Okay, I buy those nice little pretty printable calendars, and I have 6 children, and I cannot be 6 places at once. It's impossible, like we shared about multitasking. My calendar turns into a coloring book a lot of times. Jennifer talked about using a book. This is what I was referring to. I don't keep a lot on paper anymore because everything turns into a coloring book. And honestly, I would rather not spend my time disciplining my children about coloring and stuff. I just don't even want to go there because I don't have time for that. So almost literally everything that I do is digital now. And I use Google Apps for the majority of everything that I do. A lot of you if any of you are my clients, you know that I send reports that way and everything. Shannon uses it because it syncs with a lot of programs, and that's what's next on the screen. It syncs to every device pretty much that you have. It also syncs to a lot of programs. Kara's saying she needs to start using it more. She tends to use it for appointments. Yes, but like Cindy said, you can color code in it, and we'll get to that as well. You can go through and color code your appointments or color code your time blocking, like we'll talk about. There's so much in there. The other thing is that it's much easier to change. Yes, pencils have erasers, but that takes time. Honestly, for me, I really value my time, and I don't have a lot to spare with 6 children and a business and trying to maintain any sense of self. It is so much easier to just click a button, drag and drop as you need to, and be done with it. So those are my biggest reasons for going through Google Calendar. Now, the information I'm going to provide to you going on, you don't have to, okay? You don't have to sign up for Google. You want to do all that I'm saying in a paper planner, that's totally fine. You can pretty much adjust everything I'm saying for that, but I'm going to go through with you now and hopefully get you on this Google train so that you can understand what an amazing tool it is. So I am going to share a new screen with you right now. All right, I actually went in because my calendar can be an overwhelming thing for people to see first. I went in and I created a new account today so that if you are new to Google, you can see fresh exactly what it looks like when you join, so that you're not like, okay, I saw Jessica's, but mine looks nothing like this. I wanted you to be able to see what it looks like when you first join if you are new to it. So you need to go to google.com and you're going to sign up for an account. You'll see an option. Let me close this here. You will see an option up here to sign up. Once you do it, once you're good to go. Okay, and you see Google has all these other apps, which is amazing. And you can actually see the apps by clicking up here. Let me know that you guys can see my screen okay, all right, and that you're following along all right. Tons of Google apps here. Some of the other ones I use Google Maps on my husband's phone. Like I said, I mentioned a little bit, some of you know I don't have a cell phone. Creates too many squirrels for me, so I use that on my husband's phone. Google is now partnered with YouTube, so if you have a Google account, you'll be able to do different things through YouTube. I obviously use Gmail, which is a great tool for all your email needs. I use Google Drive like I breathe air. Google Drive is how I'm doing the slides today. It's how I did your printable you're going to get. It's how I organize my files. It's how I keep spreadsheets. It's an amazing tool if you have a business. And then the calendar. The calendar is the other thing I use a lot. Also, just to note, you can use Hangouts and talk to people that way and have meetings that way. And I do not see it here because, yeah, it's not here yet, but I also use Google Voice, and Google Voice is kind of merged with Hangouts. My phone actually comes through Google Voice. That's how I make my phone calls at home too. So lots, like I said, lots that's really interesting. Now we're going to go over to the calendar, and hopefully it's going to connect okay for you guys. I've got so much running here trying to keep you guys seeing what I'm doing. I probably needed to click continue. Here we go. Now I will go to calendar. And hopefully that, yes, here we go. All right. So today we're going to be talking about, it's going to tell you you're new. Got it. It's going to upgrade really quick. All right, so this is what your Google Calendar looks like. You have an option here. Let me get my notes up. You have an option here to view different things. You can view just the day. You can view the week, the month. If you want a little, if your days are super jam-packed like mine are sometimes, you can view for 4 days. You can view it as an agenda view. All right, let me check the chat really quickly and make sure we are good. Okay, yes, Kara's saying she can see it. Good. All right, so you have lots of different options here. I typically keep mine on the week view just because I kind of like to have a good idea of where I've been, where I'm going, without getting so overwhelmed that I'm looking at the entire month and that I'm not completely blind by looking at just the day. Okay. And so you've got some different things here that you can look at. I'm just going to show you the basics right now because, like I said, I'm trying to save a little bit of time. You've got your calendar here, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But you've got an option here for other calendars, and you can browse calendars, which is really neat. I put in the holidays of the United States because that's where I am, but I also go in and I have put in I mean, you have a ridiculous amount of options here. I went into my calendar and I put in holidays in Canada because my husband is Canadian. And so I like to keep up with, you know, what my in-laws and what my friend Kara is celebrating too, and Shannon too. What are they celebrating? What's going on? This is also a great option if you are like me and you are, your business deals with people all over the world. You can go in and add calendars for pretty much every country there. Okay, so you will know what your customers are celebrating. Celebrate with them. Who cares if you don't celebrate that too? Celebrate with them. And so those are some great options that you have there to add different calendars. Yay, Canada, right, Kara? Yes, I think that's an awesome tip, just to be able to know what people are celebrating. Like, a lot of people didn't know that yesterday was Mother's Day overseas. And so I had a friend of mine tell, I think it was Grim. Is Grim on this call? I don't know. I talked to Grim earlier today, and she was like, I'm seeing people post about Mother's Day, and I thought I missed it. So to keep you informed with what's going on, and it will add the holidays in your calendar for you. And I believe when you were viewing them on the month that it will, Shannon's asking, can you send someone a booking request or you manually book it? If you manually do it, would your client get the option to add it to their calendar after you submit it? I will get to that in just a minute, Shannon. Let me finish going over the basics for everybody that's new. So the other thing that you're going to want is to look at your task list. Now, I'm trying to remember because it's been a long time since I have created a new thing here. Because you got, okay, all of your calendar settings are here. You can put in birthdays of people. You can put in reminders. There are literally, I mean, you have so many options with this calendar. I can't understand why people don't use it. Okay, so I want to show you really quickly how to create a new calendar. All right, so you're going to go in, and today, for the purpose of what we're doing, I am going to show you how to create a personal calendar and how to create your time block. So this one, we're going to just call personal. You can put your name here. You can put your child's name here, whatever you want to do. Don't click to make your calendar public unless you want everybody to see it. And we're just going to create it simply that easy, and it's going to show up here in your calendars. See this? All right, and I'm going to you can choose to display it. If you don't want to display it, you just click it and it'll go away. So I don't want to see birthdays. I don't want to see any of this right now. I just want to see the personal. Now you can go in and create another calendar, and you're going to create time blocks. Okay? Now, the reason you can do this with what I'm talking to you about right now is that it's going to, like we talked about before, make things different colors. You don't like the color, you just click the little arrow, change it to whatever you want. Say you're a purple and pink girl, okay? You like purple and pink. I'm going to go in, and you're going to change your colors. Now it's beautiful, exactly how you want it. All right, so the first kind of appointment you can set up in here are firm appointments, things that you have a date and time for, or those non-negotiable things I talked about that I absolutely don't want to forget. I use this for that too. So say you have an appointment tomorrow, you're just going to click where you want it, and I'm going to say doctor appointment. Okay, and we're going to go in and we're going to put this on our personal calendar. Now, if you need to get specific, you can go in and you can say where it's at. Doctor's office, and see, it'll bring up things near you, which is really neat. I don't have my location set, so it's just pulling up Texas. I'm not in Texas, but put a description. I need a new prescription. Okay, so then we're going to save it, and there's your firm appointment. Okay, now you can go in at any time and edit the event, delete the event, whatever you need to do. Now, something comes up, okay? Something comes up and you can't make that appointment anymore, so you call to reschedule. This is how easy it is, okay? You're rescheduling for Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Done. You don't have to go in, change the time, nothing. You just drag and drop and move it where you need to go. That is why I like it so much better than using a paper calendar and having to scribble things out or erase or anything else that you're trying to do. Okay, so is everybody good with where we're at so far? Does anybody have any questions? Have you all, for those of you that use it, have you been using it like this so far where you put in actual appointment times? Let me know. and make sure that we're all good and on the same page. Yes. Okay, Hillary's good, Amanda good, Lisa good, Jennifer, wow, I didn't know the reschedule drag and drop. Isn't that awesome? I used to think when I first got started that I would have to go in and do this with the event and type in my new time and everything else. You do not have to do that. And again, oh, I can show you this too. When you're in the appointment, even if it's no matter what calendar it's on, if you are, if you wanted to really stand out, you can come here and set it to red. Okay, if it's something that's like uber important to you, you can do that regardless of what calendar you put it on. Okay, and there, like I said, there's a lot of other features here that you can use as well if needed. Let me check the chat one more time before we can do on. Sounds great. I didn't realize Google Calendar could do all this. Wow, I know, it's so crazy. It's amazing everything that you can do, and really how easy this is to make it work for you. Okay, so I am going to move over now and show you my calendar. Hold on, I might want to, like I said, this was not originally planned as a big deal kind of calendar. Let me see if it will let me show the task list on here or not. It doesn't let me show it on here. Okay, I'm going to move over and show you my calendar so I can show you the task list. I don't have that thing up to show you how to bring it up, but I will be able to do that. I will send that to you guys in the freebie that you get, how to bring up your task list. It has been, like I said, I've been using this for a long time, and so I kind of sometimes go back to the basics and I'm like, I have no idea where the task list is anymore because mine just stays up. All right, so I'm going to show you my screen now. Like I said, do not panic. I have 6 children. Okay, does everybody see my calendar? And don't share any private information on here. I trust all you guys, I'm just playing. Okay, so if you guys notice, I want you to bring your attention to this task list over here. And like I said, the instructions for creating this task list are going to be in the freebie that you receive. Kara saying that's a full schedule. Yes, but I promise you it is not as overwhelming as it looks, okay? All right, Amanda saying I agree. All right, bear with me here, you guys. All right, so the task list over here. This is the area, all of that mindset work that you did, all of that getting set up you did, these are the things you want to fill your task list with, things that you want to be non-negotiable, but you're flexible about it. Things from my task list are what you see in the tan color here, okay? So my lunch, all right? If I run long on a group visit today, again, I showed you how easy it is to just drag and drop to a different spot, okay, if you want to move it. And that's kind of the beauty of the task list. So I've got a lot of things too. I've got a task list for each of my kids. This is a great way for you to keep your kids on task, okay, with their chores and whatever they're going to do. Now, you want to create a task list for each of those areas in your life that we talked about before, the categories. We're talking about your daily work activities. See, I have a different day here for things that I'm supposed to do each day. Your household chores, that's where I have listed as a home blessing, okay? That's just what I call it. Does any of you use Fly Lady? Who uses Fly Lady here? Let me know if you use that because I love her. To keep up with household chores. Self-care. That's my morning love routine that's here that I do every single morning. Some of you guys will see my morning love posts on my Facebook page. And then homeschooling, that usually I put under each of the kids' names of what they're supposed to do. You can put daily, weekly, and monthly rituals flexible social obligations. There are really no limit to what you can do here. Those of you who are in the Freedompreneur Club, I got my Freedompreneur blueprint. See? Everything on that list. When I do everything on Nick's list, I just go through and check it off when I'm done. Okay? Now, what you need to do is go in on Sundays. I have a prep and planning time. I'm going to, hold on, let me check the chat really quick. Shannon saying, I love the morning love block. Oh, bye, Donna. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. And then, all right, so on Sundays, if you notice on my calendar, I have a prep and planning block here. This is purple because purple is my calendar. As you can see right here, it is my non-negotiable. If I don't plan out my flex block schedule for the week, nothing gets put in, okay? So schedule a time. I prefer Sundays. Do it whenever you want. I recommend Sundays because you can then plan out the whole week. And I recommend setting at least 1 hour, especially when you first get started, to go in and block everything out for yourself. Okay? So, and you want to, like I said, set that as a firm appointment so that you are good to go. And that's your non-negotiable. You're saying, I am committing to plan my schedule. You're going to also, during that prep and planning, check and uncheck your list. So when I go in, here's my time blocks task list. I went in on Sunday and I went down all of the time blocks that I needed to schedule in. Again, all of the tan ones you see here. All right, so I went in and I said, I'll show you an example because it's just easier. I'll skip to next week. So say it's prep and planning time, okay? And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna say, all right, so let me find something that's not on here yet. All right, at Sunday sometime, I'm gonna need 1 hour to go and schedule in my grocery planning, my meal planning, cutting out coupons, all of that stuff. So where do I have open on Sunday that I can do that? Let's see, I'm meeting with someone, I think that's Jen. Meeting with Jen at 1 o'clock. Since I'm already gonna be around the computer that time, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna schedule in my grocery planning here. Now I'm gonna choose time blocks because I know that that's flexible, okay? It's important to understand, use a color for things that are flexible. So you're gonna create that. All right, now say Kara comes up and says, oh, Jess, I really need to talk to you. Can we do it at 12 o'clock on Sunday? I look at my schedule and I think, okay, I've got grocery planning on that day, but I've got all this other free time that day. What can I do? So absolutely, Kara, I can meet with you. So I'm going to put in my meeting with Kara in my non-negotiable calendar, okay? I'm going to create that, and now I can take that grocery time and say, okay, I'll just do it after I meet with Jen. No big deal, okay? So my schedule is changed. Life happens. Something happens, okay? After I meet with Jen, during the time I'm meeting with Jen, my daughter has a tantrum and busts her lip open while she's having a tantrum. Now I can't do my grocery list, but I've still got time. I can just go, whoop. Now I'm going to take Jocelyn to the doctor. Okay, you get the point. It is so easy to just take what you're doing and drop it elsewhere. It is not a big deal. Like I said, there are no judgment. There's no calendar police. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, I'm going to delete this because I'm not actually meeting with Kara. I'm not actually doing that. Shannon, let me go back to your question really quick because I want to make sure that I answer that for you. Can you send a booking? Okay, when you go in to schedule your appointment, all right, you're going to go to edit event. Now, what you can do is add guests here, okay? You're going to put in their email if you're doing this manually through Calendar, you're going to put in their email and make sure that invite others button is clicked, and you're going to save it. And when you do that, it's going to email them that they are invited to that event. Okay, and they're going to be able to RSVP and everything that they need to do for that event right there. And yes, it will add it to their calendar. Once they click, yes, they're going, it will add it right to their calendar. Does that answer your question, Shannon? You can also use, when you use programs like Calendly, I use Simply Book Me. When someone goes to my Facebook page and schedules a coffee chat with me, you guys will notice here, let me go back to the calendar. See where it says mom coffees? This is time blocked out, okay? Because that's the time I want to commit to meeting with other moms. So I blocked out that time. That's one of my time blocks. So when someone creates an appointment and uses that booking link, it automatically is connected to my calendar. It emails me to say, hey, Jess, you've got an appointment, and it shows up on my calendar as an appointment, okay? It's going to show up as a non-negotiable at that point, just like this. That's what it's going to look like when Simply Book Me or your Calendly is connected to your Google Calendar. It makes life so simple because you don't have to go in and do it yourself, okay? Again, I'm going to delete that because it's not an actual appointment. Does it give a reminder email? If they have their settings set up to give a reminder email, it will do that. If they're familiar with Google Calendar, they're going to have that set up anyway. When you go to create an event, let me show you here. See down here, you have the opportunity to create notifications. You can email before, and I believe that will email your guest as well. So just set it up before, ahead of time. You can change hours, minutes, days, weeks, however long ahead you want to notify them. You can add more than one notification. The notification just means it's going to give you a pop-up on the screen. You may have seen things popping up on my screen. I just went ahead and closed it. Okay. All right. Cancel. I want to go back. Discard changes. All right. So hopefully that helps you, Shannon. You can even email them manually if you need to, but I have Outlook 360 plus another paid calendar that I may be able to get rid of now. Absolutely, there is no need to have all. That's what I used to have too. I used to have all these different calendars. There's no need. Google literally does everything for you, everything. So your choices with your planning time, you can make them recurring events when you go in during your planning time. If you know, like, see at 11 o'clock, I've got all this free space here, and I'm like, oh, I can have lunch every day this week the same time. So I'm going to go to my time blocks. I'm going to go to put in lunch, edit event, and I'm going to have it repeat every day. You can click all your days, okay? You're going to have it end on the last day of that week. All right, done. Save. Oh, and I put the wrong, oh, there we go. There it is. All my lunches show up there. So you don't even have to keep putting in the same things over and over and over. You can put in, like I said, the colors to change it if it's super important, the reminders. Like I said, if somebody calls and says, hey, Jess, I want to meet with you Monday at 11, no big deal. I just move it. Okay, we can take out this panic now that we can't change our schedule to fit our lives, okay? Jen saying, I'm excited to use this to its fullest potential. I'm glad that you're excited about it. It makes me excited to know that I do not have to be bound by my schedule anymore, okay? So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete all events in this series because I was just using it as an example. All right, so let's see what else we have here. Now, really quick, I want to mention, like I said, there's a Zoom scheduler. If you are using Zoom for your business, make sure that you can download a plugin for Google Chrome. If you are using Google Calendar, I recommend that you are using a Google Chrome browser, because it gives you so many more options, okay? So there's a Zoom scheduler here. You can get the plugin for that. I can give you information on that later on how to get it if you're not sure. But basically what this does for me is add an option. So if I want to come in here and I want to schedule something for the mom group, okay, and we're going to have a speaker that day, I go into edit the event and I can click right here. This is what that does. It adds this button for you. Make it a Zoom meeting. I don't have to open Zoom. And it's not going to do it because I'm actually on Zoom right now doing the call. But what it does is you click that button and it's going to add your Zoom meeting right here. You save and you're done with it. Okay, you don't have to go into Zoom. It does everything for you. I am all about it being simple, right? Okay. Kara's saying, I am too. You look so organized. I'm actually getting excited about scheduling. It looks like it can be fun. It is fun. I mean, at least it's fun for me. It's way more fun than it used to be. The idea of scheduling used to scare the daylights out of me, and so now this is a good thing. All right, so we've got the Zoom add-on. I told you about connecting it with your Calendly or Simply Book Me. You can share the event. Now, see this pink right here? Everything in pink I have set up for my mom's online mastermind group. So when they join the group, there's a file that tells them how to access the calendar, okay? And so because I've made this calendar public, now they're not gonna see all of this mess when they go into my calendar. All they're going to see when they click and subscribe to my calendar is everything that's happening in the mom group. So when you have a Google Calendar and other people are using that Google Calendar for their business, okay, you can subscribe to that calendar and it's going to put everything on your calendar for you. Again, you have to do nothing. Just click a button. Just click a button. Now, I will show you. Let me see here. Calendar settings. This is my mom's online mastermind calendar settings. Okay, so I've set it to permanent, and it automatically accepts invitations on this calendar. So when something's scheduled, it's going to put it on my calendar for me. And there are, let me see if I have it here. Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how this can work. So when you set up your thing, if you are part of the mom group, and if you're not on a part of the Mom's Online Mastermind and you have children, just ask me and I will be more than happy to add you to the group. But you can go to this link. I'm going to post it in the chat. You can just click that link and subscribe, and it's going to put it on your Google Calendar. Everything I do in Mom, that's a meeting, a speaker, the theme for the week and the month, it's all on your calendar. So you will never miss one more thing in Mom. All right, Shannon saying so cool. I love it. I kind of geek out with this stuff for real. Other thing I just want to mention quickly, we're running overtime a couple minutes. I hope you guys are still with me here, okay? There was just so much to cover and I wanted to help you guys as best I could. There is an agenda view here, and I'm not going to show it to you right now, again, because we're pressed for time, but you can go in your settings and set up for your agenda to be emailed to you every day, okay? You don't have to go in. If you don't have scheduling to do and you don't want to look at the whole calendar, don't. Have it set up to email you your agenda. You can, I think I set mine up for 5 in the morning, so it's there before I get up. When I get up, check my email, I just click on my agenda. If I don't have scheduling to do for the day, I have zero need to open my calendar unless I want to use the time, the task list, or schedule something. So it's going to email that to you. And you can see everything that I've told you today, every single thing. I use this in my life. This is not like I'm coming on here and BSing to you guys about you should do this and I don't use it. You can see everything in here. My self-care is in here, what I do in the morning. And you can't see on this one because it's not current. Let me go back to the current week now. Okay, this is where we're at right now. All right, everything is in here. My self-care is in here. My food is in here. If you're a meal planner, you can put what you're having. My mom group is in here. My oracle readings are in here. Kara's new moon manifestation call that's tonight is in here as a non-negotiable. It's like, Jessica, you are going to this. My kids' home blessing hour is in here. I even put the moon rotation and kind of what that's doing, so because I freak out at the full moon, so warning that it's coming. I have it put in here to put the weather forecast. There is so much less stress. I can't tell you enough when you know what's going on. It is like a breath of fresh air, okay? You're so welcome. I'm so glad you guys are getting a lot out of this. Now, making this work for you, okay? I want to share a couple tips and then we will be done for the day. Thank you guys so much for hanging in with me. I know that this is a lot of information, but this is important stuff, okay? So, going back here, we got familiar. We created our calendars. We set firm appointments. We talked about the 3 steps to getting your flex block scheduling on, right? We said we want to fill in your task list, then set a time on Sundays for prep and planning, and then actually do the prep and planning. Those are your 3 steps to filling in that flex block schedule. And then now we are going to talk about making it work for you, okay? Next steps. Let's figure out where we are. Figure out where you are right now, okay? When we get off this call, I'm going to be emailing you all the freebie that you get with this, which is a document that you can print. And there are note spots where you can go back through. It has the whole outline of this webinar, and it has spaces where you can fill in your notes about the whole thing, okay? Next part, start right away, all right? Don't wait to do this. If you really are committed, if you are really stressed out, I promise you that this is going to make a huge difference in your life. The next part of this is just ask for help. Don't be afraid, especially if you're going to come to me, because I am not going to judge you. I will help you put 20 hours of Candy Crush in your schedule if that's what you want to do, okay? So I promise you there is no shame in asking for help. I don't care where you're at. It's your life, and I'd be more than happy to help you. So that brings me to my special offer for you today, which is a scheduling intensive that's going to be customized just for you. I cannot stress enough that this is only for people that are registered on this call today, okay? And it's only going to be good for 48 hours. So what do you get in this customized scheduling intensive? You're going to get an hour scheduling intensive appointment with me. You're going to get worksheets that go along with that, with all this mindset work and getting ready work that we talked about. And I'm going to do a customized mindset exercise with you, okay? That's going to help you get grounded and feel positive, feel excited about this scheduling experience. Once we get you all set up and rolling, you are going to get a 30-minute follow-up with me. Again, this is one-on-one. You're going to be able to, it's going to be completely customized to your life and what your needs are, because your needs are more important than what anybody else wants you to do in your life, okay? So you're going to get a total of an hour and a half worth of appointments, and you're going to get your worksheets and a customized mindset exercise just for you. So what do you really get? This is going to get you clarity on exactly what you need to be doing with your time and what you want to be doing with your time. It's going to give you the confidence that you need to follow a schedule and to be organized and to figure out, okay, this is what I want to be doing with my life. It's going to give you peace of mind You are going to stop missing appointments. You are going to stop forgetting that, oh, I didn't know I needed to do this, because it's right in front of you. This is going to reduce your stress level, like I mentioned, immensely, because you're always going to know what's ahead of you, what's going on. There's so much peace that comes with just being aware, okay? And you're going to get support. You're going to get me holding your hand through the entire process and saying, okay, you can do this. We're going to make it work for you. This is not a situation where I'm going to give you the appointment, the worksheets, and say, bye, have a nice day. You are going to be able to email me whenever you have questions, because I want this to work for you. I don't want this to make you any more overwhelmed. I want to help you out through this process. So, and Kara's saying, sounds incredible. What an amazing offer. I'm super excited about it. So after Wednesday, this whole package is going to be going on my website for $97, which honestly, for an hour and a half of one-on-one service, plus worksheets, plus mindset work, it's a huge deal, okay? So it's well worth the $97. But for everybody on this call today, I have special pricing for you, which is $20 off. It's $77 or 2 payments of $40, which will be $40 the month you set it up and $40 at our follow-up appointment a month later. Okay, so I mean, you're still saving. You're saving a ton of money here, and really, you are saving your sanity. You are saving your sanity. So I want to remind you that this offer is going to expire in 48 hours, and it's only available for those of you who have spent your time with me on this call today. It expires on Wednesday, March 29th at 10 a.m. Central Time. And after that, it is going up to the $97. This isn't even on my website yet, you guys. This is just for you right now. Okay, so that's when it's going to expire, is on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So let me know if this is something that you need, and I will be happy to help you out. So I want to thank you guys. Type in any questions that you have now. Again, I'm sorry we ran a few minutes over time today, but I am so grateful that you're here. Let me know if this information was helpful for you today. What did you get out of it? Let me know if you have any questions. Amanda's saying very helpful. Awesome. I'm glad that it was helpful for you. And if this kind of thing also, it's not the exact website isn't listed on here, but if this is the kind of thing that interests you, reducing stress and overwhelm in your life, you definitely want to check out the Moms Online Mastermind group. If you have children, you can go to my Facebook page that's listed there, and there is a link on the left to the Moms Online Mastermind that can take you right there. Kara saying definitely helpful. Hillary, this was great. Jennifer, helpful, going to put it all to use. Linda saying thank you, a lot to absorb, learn some, and need to re-listen. Lisa saying awesome work, Jessica. Thank you so much. It is a lot to take in, but once you get in the flow of doing it for your life and your schedule, it's going to be so much more less overwhelming for you, okay? I know that it's overwhelming looking at my calendar. And like I said, like I stressed throughout the whole webinar, that's my life, okay? And I had to create my schedule letting go of that same judgment that I told you to let go of, okay? So I worried creating it, throughout the whole thing. Oh my gosh, if people saw this, they're gonna say it's so overwhelming. But this is my life, okay? And I challenge you to go about creating your schedule with the same mindset. It's your life. Do with it as you want. Who cares if it looks overwhelming to anybody else, as long as it is releasing your stress. Shannon saying, going to get going on this Google Calendar ASAP. I've been using it for years, but not to this extent. Awesome info, Jess. You're a calendar rock star. I will receive that today, and I'm going to post that. I'm going to post it on my page. Shannon says, I'm a calendar rock star. Awesome. So if there are no more questions today, I'm going to let you go, and I will be emailing out your replay today, as well as your printable. Again, that's going to be your printout of everything we did today with space on there to make your notes so that you can make this work for you. Also at the bottom will be a reminder of this deal, again, that will be going away on Wednesday. Kara saying thank you. Calendar Rockstar. I try. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday, and let me know, please, how I can serve you today. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you next time.